we conceded 2 line breaks. I think they played a little bit differently to what they've done before. They tried to stretch us, and they've got good carriers on the outside like Parisi, but I felt we dealt with it well, and certainly as the game went on, we became more physical and drove them back. So it was a pleasing defensive effort. I think it's the first time ever away in Italy we didn't concede a try over the years, so that's quite a good stat to have. And there's certainly some big runners coming down there like Roberts, Cuthbert and North, so it will be a test for us, but we've done well against it certainly in the home series and last year. They do come hard at you on the advantage line.
Do you think you know pretty much what to expect from Wales then? It's just a question.
No, they change. I mean, they're not then. I mean, they use the carriers in different ways, and they're very creative with what they do because they can change game by game. They do change. They don't play the same way every time.
Looking back, would you say that's maybe a game where Jan came of age a little bit?
I think the first test certainly. I mean, they put the ball behind Roberts to North in the test at Durban, and in the very first minute they tested him in the game there, and he came through it with flying colours. So, Jan has certainly over the year really done well defensively.
Koenie, your station was your leading tackler in part of it. Just your thoughts on his game and how he's developed?
He brings so much to the table. I mean, he's a tremendous athlete for starters, and he's very, very nimble. Both props, him and Trevor, are very nimble for their size. They've got good feet, and they're good hitters. I was really pleased for Koenie. It's been obviously with him being dropped and to come back and play the way he did, he had a tremendous impact. He's a great asset to have for the team.
John, what are the defensive stats like for the tour? Are you happy with sort of the percentage of tackles and the dominance of tackles over the course of the tour?
Yeah, I think the one thing is we've conceded very few line breaks. I think Ireland had 1, England had 2, one of which was a turnover, one of which was a kick, and Saturday was 2. So we're not being broken. I would say we know the areas that we've got to improve at, but I feel we've certainly got better as the tour has gone on. Hopefully we'll stay at that same level on the weekend.
Do you think Wales will test you with a sort of kicking in behind tactic?
I think they'll certainly test our back three. Obviously, with Brian and JP going, I mean they'll look and there'll obviously be different wings. But I wouldn't like to preempt and say who's playing. But I would expect. I mean they do kick contestable. They do kick high. North and Cuthbert do chase well. So, we know we're in for a test there, definitely.
It would be quite difficult for players to adapt to the different approach.
I do think it is an adaptation, but it's an exciting adaptation to have to make. I think most of the players really enjoy coming up to the Northern Hemisphere, like you say, facing different challenges. You play against opponents that you only really play against once a year, sometimes twice if they tour to your country in June. So we've really enjoyed those challenges, and like Coach John says, we've learnt a lot as well along the way.
Pat, you seem to be thriving in these conditions. Last few years you've been starting and doing very well. Is there something specific about it that just suits your game and your style?
I'm not really sure. I think I've been lucky to have been given a few opportunities on the on the Northern Hemisphere tour in the last few years, and I've really enjoyed those opportunities, and thankfully they've come my way again this year, and I'm going to try and keep enjoying it.
You seem to be attacking the advantage line quite a bit against Italy. Is that something the coaches want to see more of, and you're looking for the gap as well?
Yeah, I think as a fly half you have to be able to do to play the tactical game as well as take the line on, and it's about knowing when the time is right to do both of those things. It's something that the coach is big on. He likes his fly halves to take the ball to the line with front foot ball, so it's definitely a focus point.
Okay, is there any sort of rivalry or healthy competition between yourself and Andre for that number 10 position?
I think it's definitely a healthy competition. It's great to have Andre and Morne and Johan all in the same squad. I think we're friends off the field and we get along very well. So on the field we push each other, we work well together, and it's great to have have those players around to learn from and to grow with.
What do you make of your opposite number, Dan Bigger?
Yeah, I think he really got stuck in on the weekend against New Zealand. He's got a good kicking game. He was chasing a few high balls as well. So he really put his body on the line. So we'll definitely have our hands full from a backline perspective on Saturday. All the kickers, we've set ourselves some standards and some goals at the beginning of the year. And those penalty kicks for touch, we have our targets that we want to hit, so we've been working very hard at training.